Buongiorno, buongiorno. Let's talk a little bit about this game that we watched against Udinese. And to be honest, I still have no idea how we could win this game. And after the red card, in my mind, I was like, yeah, we're not going to win this. But we won this. And this kind of win is very important because this is like a super good win to create unity in a group, to raise the motivation of the players, to increase also their confidence. So I'm happy obviously for this win, even if it was like a gritty match. It was very strange. It was very strange. The refereeing was weird, to say the least, and I expect now that fouls like the one at Reijnders get sanctioned in other games as well. But as you know, I don't want to focus on the cards, on the referee, because what happened, and karma pays out, and we won the match. We won the match. I don't know how, but we won the match. So I rewatched the match this time more calmly, more knowing the result, knowing what will happen, so I could observe a little bit better and give you my conclusions, my opinions on the match, which are my opinions, so they may differ from yours, and that's okay too. Oh, let's go first with our Ted Lasso Fonseca. Ted Lasso. So he chose to leave Leao out, not for punishment, I think. It's mainly for a turnover, because we have this Champions League match and we have 0 points in Champions League, so we gotta make some points there. So he chose to leave Leao out, which is a choice that you can agree or disagree with. For me, Leao, despite the attitude problems, despite everything, is one of our really good players, and our coach needs to be able to use Leao and use the best Leao, like the Leao of the Scudetto, for example, right? But he left it out for Okafor. So Okafor is one of the players that are the most like misunderstood in AC Milan. Like Pioli couldn't manage to use Okafor, and Fonseca too in the beginning couldn't manage to use Okafor. Today we saw Okafor in his, I think, natural position, right? Where usually Leao plays. And he played like Leao, right? He did, I mean, beside the attitude. The goal that we scored is thanks to Okafor. He challenged the opponent, he won, and we scored the goal. So that the decision of leaving Leao outside was a right decision in the end. And the decision of not putting Leao in the second half is a good decision too. Because Leao is just not that kind of players that comes back and helps constantly the team in the same way that, for example, Chukwu did, right? Leao just like is not that kind of player. I think we should maybe give up of Leao helping the team. Leao does a different kind of job, and leaving him out in the second half, I think it was the right choice, because we needed a team that is compact and that can defend all together. And we managed to pull out this win also thanks to this, right? To Fonseca's choices. In the second half, we went for a pure counter-attacking AC Milan. We played with basically a 4-4-1, very compact, mainly in our defensive third. We almost gave up the build-up play from Maignan, and instead we went for long passes from Maignan. So all these tweaks and small changes that in the end paid off. Of course, I have to say that, like, if I were a Udinese fan right now, I would be pissed. I would be so pissed, because Udinese never felt dangerous. I never felt like, yeah, they scored 2 goals on offside, which, thank God, this time the VAR worked really, really hard to cancel those goals. Usually it happens all the times with AC Milan. Every time that AC Milan scored a goal, there's like minutes of VAR checking everything possible, right? So this time happened to the other team. So good for it. It was offside by this much. Was the toe of the players like too long, too big? what happened happened. So offside, good. So when credit is due, we'll give credit to Fonseca. So this time Fonseca won the match, so he will deserve a high score, in my opinion. Pulisic as an attacking midfielder worked. Attacking midfielder, he did everything. Pulisic, they did attacking midfielder, he did mezzala, he did striker, he did midfielder, he did everything. So Pulisic is just like in another league right now. It's just a top player. In the defense, he put Terracciano, but he made like Terracciano play a little bit like a pivot sometimes. You would see Terracciano going in the basically in the place of Fofana. This time he told Emerson Royal, he told him, no, just don't, no. Emerson Royal, stay there. That's what he told him. And you could see that Emerson Royal barely went into attack. I think he never actually tried to go to attack because he's not good at it, I guess. I don't know, but this worked much better. And I mean, when you have your fullbacks and they are Terracciano and Emerson Royal in AC Milan, that should tell you something. But hey, we won, so all good. Let's go with the other players. Magic Mike Maignan, always a big presence, captain this time. 6.5, 6.5 is always there when you need it. Is like he's always there for us, you know. And can we please renew Mike Maignan before he chooses that he can play in another team? Give him the money that he asks, and shut up. He wants 8 million. I give him 9. I don't know, but we have to keep Maignan. I don't care if he get injured. It's just like such a solid goalkeeper. Is good. Is good as a goalkeeper, but is good with his feet too, which is not that common with goalkeepers. Let's go with the defense. Let's start with Pavlovic, because I know that my opinion probably on Pavlovic for this game is a little bit more debated. I saw a lot of opinions saying that Pavlovic has played a great game, in which I agree. His game was solid. The attitude was spot on as usual. He's a warrior. He's a fighter. He played with blood in his head. It was like a war for Pavlovic. But I do want to also try to understand and emphasize a little bit of the mistakes that he did that I think are big mistakes. First of all is the red card to Reijnders. Don't think about red card is fair, is not fair. Let's not talk about that. Just in that situation, what happened? What happened is that Pavlovic had his man, and his man moved. Pavlovic should have stayed in his position at that moment, but he didn't. He just ran to his man, creating this huge hole in there. Then I don't remember who was it, but the Udinese players used. And then what happened. So this kind of stuff doesn't have to happen, because Pavlovic didn't need to do that kind of movement. But Pavlovic, I think, is a very instinctual player. He plays a lot by instinct. Let's say that he acts before he thinks. He lacks that kind of, let's say, football intelligence to that millisecond of thinking before doing something. And you could see that in other moments of the game. Like he basically caused a penalty. We were lucky enough that the Udinese player didn't have the ball and already kicked the ball. If he didn't kick the ball, that would have been a penalty. That's dangerous. And then in the end as well, when we conceded the goal in the last minutes, there Pavlovic was confused, I guess. I don't know. He got like too many hits on his head, I guess, and he was tired. He played the whole game in 10 people. So it's understandable that when you're tired, you make mistake. But the mistake, for example, that got Reijnders the red card is a mistake that can be and is heavy for the team, because we are not going to have Reijnders in the next match. And this time we won the match. If we didn't win the match, Pavlovic's performance would have been rated a lot worse. Yes, he fought well when he had to. He won a lot of duels with the giants of Udinese. But these are some kind of mistakes that I think he has to work on. He is like a high risk, high reward player. His tackles are very dangerous sometimes, and he should work a little bit on thinking a little bit more on what he's doing, in my opinion, of course. Probably you will rate Pavlovic a lot more than what I did. Was it better than having Tomori? For this match, probably yes, because Tomori recently isn't doing that well. But it's like you have Tomori that sometimes he sleeps on the field and he forgets stuff, and then he does weird mistakes. And then you have Pavlovic, which is like an all-in player, and he just goes in and tackles everybody, and you don't know he can cause a penalty as well. So that's my opinion on Pavlovic. His friend Thiaw didn't play for a lot of games now, and to be honest, it was like a shadow game from Thiaw. He didn't do anything bad. He did his job quite well, so I think that a 6 is well deserved. And yeah, nothing to say. He did the clearances when he had to clear the ball. He defended well, so it's all good, I guess. For this game in particular, let's go to the king, Emerson Royal. Emerson Royal, okay, this time he didn't create too many troubles to AC Milan, but sometimes he does things that I can't understand. So this time nothing happened, so I will give him a 6, even if probably a 5.5 is better for the overall performance, but we won and we were in 10 men, so it's okay. Emerson Royal, I guess it's okay. This time he was told by Fonseca to never move again, to just stay there and don't try and go attacking. More so in the second half when we were one man less. He did that. When he had the ball, he turned and passed it back to his teammates. He's the king of the back passes. Emerson Royal, king of the back passes this time. And yeah, that's it. On the other side, we have Terracciano. I can't give him the 6 to Terracciano. I will give him a 5.5 to Terracciano. He tried to call his teammates a lot during the game, and he was ignored a lot of the times. He almost received the ball less than Maignan, which is pretty strange for AC Milan. Usually our defenders touch the balls, receive the balls a lot for the build-up play. But again, we were one man less, so it's hard to rate this game. It's really hard to rate this game. But yeah, not a brilliant performance from Terracciano, which is not left fullback, by the way, because his natural role is right fullback. He's just like not a player that I'd have in AC Milan, and I'll just say that. Midfield. Let's go in the midfield. Fofana today is Super Fofana. Monumental performance from Fofana. He was at the right place at the right time. Sometimes he was creating, he was being the Reijnders of the situation. He was teaching Pulisic what to do when Pulisic played as a midfielder. A lot of presence on the pitch, always everywhere. So probably one of the best performances from Fofana until now. And then you say, then why you give him a 7? It should be higher. Well, I don't know, give him a 7.5, whatever. Like the point is like that he played well. He controlled the midfield well. So I am proud of this performance from Fofana. Reijnders, I will give him a 6 because in the first 30 minutes he was good as usual. The red card is a strange event. I wouldn't punish that on him as a vote. I would just say that like he didn't do it on purpose. I don't know what happened. They touched it. I don't care. He got expelled, but I guess a 6 for Reijnders is fine. And let's go on with the attack. Okay, the attack is basically what saved AC Milan, because our attack acted as defense a lot of the time, right? Especially thanks to Morata's pressing like a crazy man looking for food. But let's go one at a time. Let's go Okafor. Okafor Okafor did play a great game. We didn't see him much because obviously the game, like after the 30 minutes, it's really hard to judge this game. But his overall performance, I thought it was really good. The goal that we scored is thanks to him making fun of that Udinese player and creating the chance for the goal. So I'll give him a 7. Happy to see Okafor in this state. Happy to see Okafor getting some more love in his natural position and not as a striker, because he is not good in the striker position. So the problem is that there is Leao there. Let's see if Fonseca can manage this without leaving Okafor to rot in the next games. Let's go into Pulisic. Pulisic. Champagne. Pulisic, what a disciplined player is Pulisic. He's not only talented, he's smart, his football intelligence is incredibly high, he's a hard worker, he's a leader on the pitch. What else can you ask to Pulisic? He did an assist for Chukwu to score. He played in the midfield. He played as a mezzala. He I mean, look at these stats. Shot creating actions, 4. Ball recoveries, 4. Clearances, 3. Progressive carries, 4. He played everywhere. And he did it well. When Reijnders got expelled, he basically replaced him, and he was constantly talking to Fofana to understand where his position should be. So he is willing to learn. He's willing to work hard. He is an example for any player. Any player. If you're a young player and you look for your star to follow, Pulisic. Look at Pulisic. Don't look at the super mega stars that act like princesses in the end. Pulisic he's being the best player for AC Milan, which is one of the reasons why we cannot do turnover and let Pulisic rest. Because without Pulisic, we lose too much, even more than not having Leao. Pulisic is our top player right now. That's why you can afford to leave Leao. If Leao was as essential as Pulisic, then Leao should play more, right? But at this point in time, you cannot afford to not have Pulisic on the field. Best player on the pitch. Again, MVP, I think is like the MVP in every game. Even if he didn't score, he he tried to score. He was a little bit too egoistical in some situations. He could have passed the ball, but cannot criticize Pulisic. And let's go to ChukuChuku. ChukuChuku played actually a very good game. ChukuChuku, I will give him a 7 to ChukuChuku. Not only for the goal, but for his spirit of sacrifice that he showed us throughout the game when we were in 10. He's the only player that was left a little bit of freedom in the second half to go on and press and try to recover the ball because he's fast. He did that well, but he also defended when he could well. He is in a good moment, so he was correct also to leave Chukwu on the pitch and taking off Okafor. It was a tough choice for Fonseca because both they were doing actually a very good job. So leaving Chukwu, I think it paid off. So good on Fonseca for that too. And also is to give motivation and confidence to Chukwu, because Chukwu has been living like a bad moment. His performances were not great, to say the least. And now that he's picking up something, is good to leave him be and giving him that trust that he probably needs. Morata, it's a pain in the ass for other teams' defenses because he constantly moves. He doesn't stay in one place. A lot of the times he comes back to take the ball. When he presses, he is really aggressive with the press, and many times he actually managed to recover the ball this way. Even if he didn't score, he had the chance to score. He could have done better there, I guess. Sometimes he tend to fall on the floor a little bit too often for my taste. And I was in between 6 and 6.5 for Morata, but I'll give him a 6.5 because his attitude was on point as usual. a warrior. He got upset to the referee. I don't know how many times he's told the referee to fuck off or so. Bravo Morata, bravo, bravo, bravo. Okay, let's go to the substitution because I've been talking for a long time. Musah. I don't know. I'll give him a 6 to Musah. Sometimes I was like watching Musah and trying to understand what he was trying to do. Sometimes he made me put my hands into my head and pulling my hair. A little bit confused. Overall, not a bad game from Musah, okay? Not a terrible game from Musah, and also we were in 10, so they always have to keep in mind that we were playing 10 versus 11, so not an easy thing to do. He handled that, I guess, well enough. So well enough to receive a 6 at least. It's a bit shaky, but again, he doesn't play much with AC Milan. We didn't see him much, so understandable. Oh, Abraham. I was forgetting Abraham. Abraham, mamma mia, Abraham. Abraham 4. I mean, what do you have to do to score a goal? How? I have no words. Beautiful work from Pulisic there. As usual, we had this chance to close the game when we were suffering and to rest a little bit also emotionally for us, for the supporters, to just like, oh, please, let's put a stop to this madness. He was alone in front of the goal. He cannot score. On top of that, he gets injured by himself, by falling by himself. It's not even like, he got tackled by somebody and then that's unfortunate and he got this injury. No. All by himself. He tried to shoot with his left foot, which he can't. Fall in a weird way, and now he's injured in his shoulder. I have never seen something like this. I don't know about you, but I have never seen something as ridiculous as this. This guy can't score. And now I understand the frustration that the Romans supporters had for Abraham. Yeah, he's trying his best, but he can't score. Terrible, terrifying. Who else came in? Tomori and Loftus-Cheek. I'll not give a vote to those players. But yeah, we saw Loftus-Cheek as a striker. Like we were like, that situation was terrible. Our situation, it was chaos. I was confused as fuck. But by the end of the game, I was really, really, really confused. I didn't know what I just watched was the weirdest game I've seen probably in years. And we won the game. So on top of that, I was like, what the hell just happened? But we won the game? How did Udinese not draw at least the game? How did not Udinese win this game? How did we win this game? Has been really confusing as hell, but I'm happy that we got this win. I'm so happy because this is a giant win for us. We needed this win because we can't lose points against this Udinese. The fact that Udinese played terribly. They did like 1 million crosses. There was something like more than 30 crosses into Maignan. But anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know if your opinions differs from mine, in what way. Now we can sit down and watch the other plays, which is always good. And then we're gonna have the Champions League, hoping to get these 3 points in the Champions League because I do want to go on in the Champions League. We'll see. Ciao, divertitevi, statemi bene, non fate cazzate.